friends, facing our fears, laughing through the chaos and drinking some beers. So here's to the laughs, the groans and the cheers, all the awkward moments, and we're still here. Cause in the end we're just doing our thing. It's our crazy life, oh, one more thing. Oh, one more thing. Oh!
Welcome to Oh and One More Thing, a podcast where two longtime friends try to figure out what the heck is going on with this crazy thing called middle age.
It's a mix of stories of how we navigate our lives and maybe some questionable advice.
Some days we're wise, other days we're just trying to remember where the heck we left our phone.
So join us as we laugh, groan, and maybe even learn a little something about surviving in the second half of life. Oh, and one more thing. Hey, I'm Rob, and welcome everyone to Oh and One More Thing.
Hey, I'm Brian.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
I am great.
Fantastic. I thought I would open our discussion today with a joke.
Okay,
Are you ready?
lay it on me.
Here we go. So, a man buys a robot that slaps people when he tells a lie.
Oh no.
He decides to test it on his family at dinner that night. The man asks his son, "Son, what did you do after school today?" The son replied, "Oh, I just did some homework," and the robot slapped the son. The son said, "Okay, I actually watched a movie with my friends." The father asked, "What movie?" The son said, "Star Wars Episode 5. Robot slapped the son. The son stammered away, "Okay, it was Showgirls." The father laughed. "Oh, I would never watch movies like that." The robot slapped the dad. The mom laughed. "He certainly is your son." The robot slapped the mom.
That's funny.
Right?
She was lying the whole time.
She was.
Have you ever seen that movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey?
I have, yeah.
Came out in 1997.
Yeah, great movie.
Well, for anyone who hasn't seen it, the movie's main character, Fletcher Reed, is a pathological liar and lawyer, and he finds his career turned upside down when he inexplicably cannot physically lie for 24 hours.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
So many things happen.
Yes.
It's so funny. I was looking up clips to the movie, and I wanted to write them in here, but I didn't know how to write them in, so I just was going to talk about them.
Right.
But they're so funny.
Yeah.
I recommend anybody go watch it.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you ever tell a lie?
Ever? That's a loaded question. Well, yeah.
So how about a little white lie?
Yeah, I think those are probably more common, I would say.
Probably.
So, yeah. So what exactly is a white lie?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. A white lie is different from a serious lie because it's usually well-intentioned, doesn't have a serious impact or consequence, and aims to serve the receiver more than the liar. A serious lie, on the other hand, is malicious and can wreak havoc if the truth is revealed. Yeah. Additionally, the white lie is usually closer to the truth than the outright lie, and also more socially acceptable.
Yeah, I think that's the key. It's more socially acceptable.
Right.
Depending on the situation, but yes, that's more common.
Right, I would think so.
Yeah.
But the history of the term white lie traces back to the ancient association humans made between daytime and nighttime. Did you know that?
No.
I know, that's really weird.
Yeah.
Eventually, this contrast shaped how we equate the color white with purity and goodness, and the color black with deceit and negativity.
Okay.
Another example is the linguistic use of the distinction between black magic and white magic.
Well, what's the difference?
Well, in other words, the white in white lies harkens back to the old age association with white as goodness.
Okay.
But let's be perfectly clear, it's nothing to do with race.
No, not whatsoever. No. So, is it ever appropriate to lie, do you think?
I think, well, it's hard to say because, there are situations where you'd want to do that.
Yeah. I think, especially when it comes to some family situations, not necessarily your immediate family, but maybe extended family, and get invited over to that family reunion you're just dying to not go to, and, oh, sorry, kids got a
I'm dying to go to all my family reunions.
Yes. Not saying our family in particular, but I'm saying in general, or, but you know what I mean? Or somebody from work invites you over for dinner some night and you're like, that's just awkward, but you don't want to be rude. So, you have to, stay home and paint your car that night or something.
Because I paint my car every other week.
Yes. But something like that. So why do people lie? So we did a little bit of research on this. So is it ever appropriate to lie, and why do people lie? Well, these are some of the questions we're going to try and answer in this episode of Oh and One More Thing. Are you a liar? Brian, are you a liar?
Liar, liar, pants on fire. Remember that when you were a kid?
I do. People lie due to their pleasure-seeking nature, which drives them to avoid pain and seek pleasure. We lie not only for personal gain, but also for the benefit of others.
So there's a psychological theory of lying. It suggests that lying explores the cognitive, emotional, and behavior aspects of deception, encompassing many different motivations, and that impacts the lies on individuals and relationships. These theories suggest that lying is not a simple act, but a complex behavior influenced by various factors, including perceived benefits, social contexts, and personality traits. Whew, wow, that was a mouthful.
That was a lot. Yes.
Let's break that down.
Yes. All right. So here are some theories. So the four-factor theory. The four-factor theory of deception, developed by Myron Zuckerman, explains lying as a complex process involving four key components: generalized arousal, guilt and emotions, cognitive effort, and attempts to control non-verbal and verbal clues. These factors, when combined, can lead to deceptive cues, even when liars try to hide their deception.
Okay. So that's pretty deep.
That's pretty deep. Yeah. So general arousal, guilt, and emotions. To me, that's the biggest reason why I tend not to lie is
the guilt.
The guilt just kills me.
Yeah. Being Catholic guilt is a real thing.
Catholic guilt is real. Yes, it is. And the effort. And, that's what I love about some sitcoms when they get into a whole lying episode. And for some reason, I'm focusing back to a Big Bang Theory episode where Leonard asks Sheldon just to do a little white lie, and Sheldon has to go down.
And he can't because he needs a full backstory.
Yes, he needs a full backstory, and he brings in an actor to play his druggy cousin, and it just snowballs into this huge thing. And that's how I feel every time I tell a lie that I think that I can't keep under control. Like that's going to happen to me
because they spin out of control.
Spins out of control. Yeah, that just doesn't work for me. Yeah.
So another theory is the tripartite theory.
Okay.
If I think I said that right.
That sounds right.
This theory is also known as a theory of lying. Okay, well, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And the dishonesty theory proposes that lying is determined by a perceived benefit, external risk, and internal conflicts. It suggests that people lie when they perceive the benefit of lying outweighs the potential negative consequences that they can also justify their actions.
Yeah, I think that's the key is when people think they can justify their actions by lying, that the lie is better than the truth.
Yeah, I know. And I get caught in that sometimes where I think I can keep justifying the, and let me just say, these are only little white lies.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
Big deception lies? No, I can't do that.
No, I can't do that.
You can read my face like a book.
My God, right? I'm horrible at lying.
Yeah.
You can totally tell. Yeah. Usually I giggle uncontrollably too.
Okay.
It's weird. I know.
I'm going to look for that.
I totally can't keep a straight face. Yeah. Pathological lying. So this concept, often explored through a biopsychosocial developmental model, it's a lot of words, examines the compulsive and often unfounded nature of lying in certain individuals, potentially linked to personality disorders like antisocial personality disorder or narcissistic personality disorder.
So I get that. I think we all understand what the pathological lying, where it completely takes over your entire being. Yeah. It's just who you are.
Right. And I think the first thing that comes to mind when I hear that is, you remember on Saturday Night Live, John Lovitz did a character?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, his name is Tommy Flanagan. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Always lie.
Oh my gosh. Funny skit.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can obviously tell we're kind of reading these because we had to curate this content, and it's very specific information.
Right.
So we're trying to get through it without stumbling too badly.
Yes.
So some motivations for lying. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, we're not condoning lying.
No.
We're just giving you the background so then we can talk about it.
Yes. Okay, so motivations.
Perceived benefit. Mm-hmm. Individuals may lie to gain something they desire, such as avoiding punishment, gaining sympathy, or manipulating situation. Social context. Lying can be influenced by social dynamics, such as protecting relationships, avoiding conflict, and maintaining social standing. Mm-hmm. And also internal distress. Some individuals may lie as a way to cope with personal issues, such as low self-esteem or anxiety. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then there's cognitive load.
Okay.
Lying can be mentally demanding, requiring the liar to construct a story, remembering details and managing nonverbal cues.
Yeah, and that's part I would struggle with the most, the cognitive load, because there's no way I'm keeping my story together.
That's like the Big Bang Theory.
Yes. Yeah, full story. I can't do that. So some strategies used by liars, again, not us, but some liars. Liars may attempt to appear calm and composed, even though they may be experiencing heightened arousal. Liars may construct a detailed story to conceal the truth, and some individuals may avoid eye contact as a way to appear less trustworthy. So understanding the psychological theories of lying provides valuable insights into the motivations, strategies, and impact of deception, which can be applied to various contexts, including law enforcement and interpersonal relationships and mental health.
So this has nothing to do with the fact that I get flustered when I talk in front of people or in a crowd because I do dart my eyes away. I'm not lying.
Right.
I just have a fear of making a contact with you and seeing into my soul.
Right, exactly.
So that's my fear. I'm not lying. I'm just looking down.
Right. And I'm kind of fascinated with the people that, like law enforcement especially, that can analyze somebody, their physical reactions, their body language, their eye movement, and like, oh yeah, they're lying.
And then carry on so they can get more out of them. That's an amazing skill.
Yeah, fascinating skill.
That's stuff I can't do.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, this is Rob. I wanted to take a moment to talk about Spring Green. I've been using them since 2007. They provide fertilizer, weed control, lawn insect control, and core aeration services for my lawn. They also spray for mosquitoes, which is huge in Minnesota, and new later this year, liquid aerations and home pest control. They're a locally owned and operated company, super easy to get a hold of and work with. They'll give you the attention and service that you deserve. Visit their website at spring-green.com for a price quote specific to your property and to sign up for service. You can even register for autopay or prepay to save a little bit of cash right there on the website, or shoot them a message with any questions. That's spring-green.com, spring-green.com.
So I got a story that I want to share. It's not lying per se as much as it is just not offering out all the truth.
Okay.
So is that lying? Not sure.
Let's hear your story first.
Okay, so when I go to the grocery store, I have a tendency to fulfill one of my dirty little secrets, my habits in buying a candy bar.
Okay.
And I will eat that candy bar as fast as I can in the truck on the way home. So no one knows and none the wiser, right? Okay. Until now they listen to this
everybody
podcast.
knows, right?
But so I'll eat that. And mind you, the grocery store is a half a mile away from my house. So I must scarf that down as fast as I can. Yeah. What am I going to do with the wrapper?
What do you do with the wrapper?
Usually I tuck it in my little garbage can in the truck, right? Well, the other day, my wife was taking the truck somewhere and she looks down and she sees the candy wrapper and she holds it up and says, next time you probably should hide this a little bit better. And I'm like, oh, shoot. So I wasn't lying. I just never told her.
Just never told her. Right. So you need to be smarter, but kind of how we do it. We just put a little jar in the kitchen that has like single like M&Ms and like little Easter egg things, and just take like 2 or 3 at a time. It's just.
My problem there I wouldn't take 2 or 3.
You would graze.
I would graze all day.
Yeah. There definitely is some willpower involved in the candy jar.
Right.
Yeah.
So is lying ever okay?
I think in certain situations it can, but I think it depends on kind of what's going on. So while lying is generally considered wrong, there can be exceptions where it might be justifiable, often in situations where lying is intended to protect someone or prevent harm. But
I get that part.
Yeah, but it's crucial to carefully consider the context and potential consequences of lying before you do it. So let's how about some examples of when lying might be considered acceptable. So to protect someone from harm.
Right.
So particularly, I'm imagining like a loved one, if someone is in danger, lying to potential attacker to buy time or protect the person in danger might be considered justifiable.
You'd lie to save me.
I would absolutely lie to save you.
Thanks,
absolutely,
buddy.
For sure. To ease emotional distress. Now, this one makes a little more sense to me. So lying to a person who is emotionally fragile or vulnerable, such as a child or someone nearing death, might be considered acceptable if it prevents them from further harm or distress.
See, I don't think that's lying. Right. It is lying. I can't be clear. It's lying, but you're doing it from your heart.
Right. So young children, plug your ears. So Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, those kinds of things.
You think young children are listening to this?
I like to think everybody's listening to this.
Yeah. I don't think they are.
Okay, older children who still believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. I mean, that's you're lying. I mean, you're basically lying to them. So,
Oh my gosh, I'm a pathological liar.
oh, right, for years and years and
Years and years.
Yeah, right?
I lied about all that stuff. I lied about the tooth fairy too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the tooth fairy. Yeah.
Did you ever get caught?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
I got a story.
Okay.
So we always had money out for the tooth fairy under the pillow, that whole thing. Well, I had to eventually get in the habit of, okay, the tooth came out, great. Oh my gosh, tooth fairy's going to be great. I'd have to run upstairs and put some change on my sleeping space, my pillow, on my pillow.
So you remember.
So I remembered
Yeah.
because there were times where we would completely forget.
Yeah.
And
Right.
our child would wake up and start crying because the tooth's still there. And we had to act fast.
Right.
And so we made up a story that they're still making their rounds. Did you notice the window's open now? We ran in there, opened the window. And during that time that the child was crying,
Yeah.
the tooth fairy came.
Oh, sneaky.
Oh, it was-
and they bought it every time.
They bought it each time, which is great. And when I say each time, it's happened more than once.
do we think, have they heard this story before?
Yeah, they've heard this story
Okay,
now.
so there's no surprise.
Well, they're adults.
Well,
so-
I understand that. Okay, all right. How about lying to save someone's life?
Well, then I would do that.
Yeah, even if it means deceiving someone who may not be acting in good faith, might be considered justifiable in some ethical frameworks.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, I would agree. So some ethical considerations. Intent.
Okay.
The reason behind the lie is crucial. Lies that are intended to benefit others or prevent harm are generally more justifiable than lies that are purely deceptive or malicious. Consequences. Consider the potential impact of the lie, both positive and negative. If the lie could lead to serious harm or damage trust, it may not be justifiable.
Makes sense.
Yes, and that's the one I would agree with the most, I think. And relationship. The relationship with the person being lied to can also influence the decision. In some cases, it might be more acceptable to lie to someone you have a less close relationship with than someone you have a close relationship with. So, to any stranger you see, lie away. To loved ones,
I'm going to
never.
lie every time I see somebody.
Right? Just see them walking in the store. Oh, you look great today when they're wearing Birkenstocks.
I'm lying.
Right. Yeah. So in summary, lying can be a complex issue, and whether it's ever okay depends on the specific circumstances. There may be rare situations where lying is justifiable to protect someone or prevent harm.
Yeah, I would agree. For myself, I believe in honesty.
Yes.
Since lying has never gone well for me.
No.
You can totally see it on my face, like I said before, and my ears will turn red.
Right.
So I depend on being honest or just keeping my mouth shut, which, is still a trait I'm trying to learn, is keeping my mouth shut because I have a tendency to say a little too much.
Yeah. I think my problem is I will make a joke out of something and not realize that it's I'm trying to cover a lie, so I make a joke basically, and that almost makes it worse because then they get offended when no, that's not what I mean, but
You've frequently offended me, Rob.
well, that's what I do.
I know.
Yeah.
You're just lying to me.
Yeah. So.
I'm kidding.
I know. All right, so social norms, relationships, no need to hurt someone just because, right?
Well, you wouldn't. I wouldn't do it intentionally.
No, not intentionally. But the ones that really drive me nuts are keyboard warriors.
What do you mean by that?
So social media is it's a great place to hang out, but it's also a cesspool of humanity at times.
Well, at times.
At
come
times.
on.
Not right now.
We're on social
Yes,
media,
I
and
know.
I'm not a cesspool.
I'm not saying all social media, but you know what I mean. Those people get behind the keyboards and they're they gotta tell you what they think, and here's my opinion. And yeah, man, we don't need to hear everybody's opinion, man. It's okay once in a while.
Okay, but opinions foster a conversation.
Yes, conversations. Yes, just to be mean and to belittle people. No.
True.
Yeah, and that's where it's hard to draw that line. It's hard to gather intent from behind a keyboard. It's
right.
You can't see the emotional impact of that. So that's a challenge.
Right.
The most frequently told lie is "I'm fine" or "I'm okay."
Yep. Okay. I get that. I say those.
I say that all the time. So this lie is often used to avoid making others feel uncomfortable or drawing attention to oneself, even when the speaker may be experiencing difficulties. Other common lies include those about spending habits, enjoying food, or pretending to be listening.
See the enjoying food part.
Right.
I enjoy a great candy bar
Right?
without anyone else knowing.
Absolutely.
And the pretending to be listening.
Yeah.
Okay. sorry, honey, but I've mastered that skill. Because I'll be not paying attention, and then my wife will say, "Did you even hear me?" And I'll repeat exactly what she said.
Right.
Doesn't it make her feel good?
Right.
And I apologize for that.
Yes. I think those all of us that have been in very long-term relationships, so that tends to happen.
Yeah. Right.
The most frequently told lie is "I'm fine" or "I'm okay."
Ugh. I'm fine.
I'm okay.
I know, right?
Why? So why? We all do that.
We all do it.
We all do that.
Even when you're exploding inside, and
Yes.
I just don't want to get that out there. I don't want to talk about it. It's
Right.
going to piss you off.
Right.
Or so I'm fine.
Right.
But the tone makes it worse.
You know what FINE stands for, don't you?
What does fine stand for?
Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, emotional.
That's great.
Yeah, it's from a movie.
Oh, of course it is. But can you name the movie?
Yes, it's yes. Oh,
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. 'Cause it's got Wahlberg in it, where they're stealing stuff and
Catch Me If You Can?
No.
Not that one.
No,
It's The Magicians.
no. Oh, see, somebody is listening to this and they're going nuts right now because I can't think of the movie, but name of it. But it'll come to me in 10 minutes, I promise.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but you're right. Those are easily told every day, all day long.
yeah, but yeah, I agree. Most frequently, I mean, I personally probably use that 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
When you're truly not.
When you're truly not, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's more just because you just want to get into it. You're just not in the mood right now just to.
Well, or you're doing it like we said earlier here. You're saying that because I don't want to hurt your feelings anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because if I go to get into it, now you're not going to be fine.
Right. Right.
And so I don't know that that's a justification or anything, but I say it and I always have that in the back of my mind of like either I don't want to get into it or I just don't want to tell you the real reason.
The Italian Job. I knew it would come to me.
The Italian Job. That was a good movie. I like that.
movie. Yes. I love that movie.
I'm glad you tied that back.
Right?
I hate to leave a listener hanging.
Yes, I know. All right. So the "I'm fine" and "I'm okay." This lie is often used to avoid making others feel uncomfortable or drawing attention to oneself, even when the speaker may be experiencing difficulties. Other common lies include those about spending habits.
Okay. Yeah.
I completely agree with that. Enjoying food.
Oh, like the candy bar?
Or, if you're a guest or somebody invites you over for dinner and they make something kind of just hinky and you're like, "Oh yeah, that was great." And you're like, "Can we stop at McDonald's on the way home?" That's never happened to me.
Oh, if it did, I don't want to know.
Right.
If it was at my house.
No, it's never at your house. No, you guys make phenomenal food. Or pretending to be listening.
Right.
What?
What? No. I have a tendency to pretend to listen, but
Yeah.
we don't have to get into that.
Yeah, no.
Do we?
No, I don't think so. I think we all do it.
Makes me look like a schmuck.
Yeah, that's right. We're listening. We're just maybe daydreaming about the upcoming Timberwolves playoff game and not really paying attention to what we're talking about.
Is that why you're drifting?
No. We got 20 minutes. Let's go.
So to round out this topic of lying, here are some of the biggest lies in history. And yes, I apologize. We're going to read this.
We're going to read a lot. Okay, first one is the Ponzi scheme. And this one to me is a little interesting because we all hear the term Ponzi scheme all the time.
Right, but do we really even know what it is?
Yeah, do we really get it? So,
I hope this explains it.
I hope this explains it. So the infamous Charles Ponzi, who perpetrated this classic lie in the early 20th century, is the namesake of the Ponzi scheme.
Oh, so it came from a person. I guess
from
I
a
didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I think I did, but I didn't.
It's one of those things we probably knew.
Yeah.
But then you just not top of mind, you wouldn't think of it.
Right, heard it once and forgot about it.
Yeah.
So the schemer attracts investors by promising high returns, but instead of investing their money, they retain a portion for personal use and utilize funds for new investments to pay off earlier investors.
Okay, so that's, I don't know, sounds sketchy.
Sounds sketchy, right? So Bernie Madoff, we all know who he is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he's probably one of the most famous. He utilized that Ponzi scheme formula to deceive investors out of approximately $50 billion.
Billion with a B.
Billion with a B, which he admitted to in 2008. Madoff's scheme persisted for over a decade, and I didn't realize it was that long. Yeah. That's a long time. While he did invent the Ponzi scheme, he executed it on a grander scale, both in terms of the amount of money swindled and the duration of the scheme. Typically, Ponzi schemes collapse quickly due to the constant need to find new investors. However, Madoff, he was able to sustain the scheme by offering consistent returns exceeding 10%, which is a lot.
Which is adding more people.
Adding more people. Yep. irrespective of stock market performance, and by enticing clients to reinvest their profits. So eventually the scheme crumbled under the weight of the increasing redemption requests from investors. So
That is crazy.
That's crazy, right?
Like we were talking earlier, how to those pathological liars carry that story,
Right.
and continually having to add to the story and all of that. That's what's happening here.
Yeah, for 10 years.
10 years. I know that's a long time of your life to really hold up a lie.
Yeah. And what's particularly shocking was that due to his esteemed position, he was a former NASDAQ chairman and respected, like people respected this guy as a financial expert.
Right.
Yeah.
So then why would you question him?
Right. So, but in contrast, Charles Ponzi, who the whole scheme is named after, he was a minor ex-con when he initiated his scheme. So ultimately made up a sentence to 150 years in prison and passed away at 82 after serving 11 years.
Wow.
So he lived the high life for 10 years and then died 11 years later.
I don't know if that's worth it.
I don't know if it's worth it either, but I don't know. He lived the high life for 10 years.
So another biggest lie in history is the tobacco industry.
Yes.
So we all know that, right? The cigarette industry is responsible for some of the biggest lies ever told. Despite the U.S. Surgeon General's 1964 report on the dangers of cigarette smoking, manufacturers spent decades denying addictive and deadly nature of their product.
Well, doctors used to like subscribe or prescribe, like go smoke.
Yeah, go
have a heater. That'll cure all your ills.
Yeah, in the magazines, they were like, what makes you feel better but this cigarette?
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
You know,
Yeah.
and then it would show even ads with kids with cigarettes.
Well, dude, as a kid, tell me you never bought candy cigarettes.
Candy cigarettes, yeah. Candy, it's like promote smoking.
Yeah. And especially the ones that you could puff the little powder out of them. Like,
Yeah, of course. Well,
I'm really smoking. Poof.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Right.
Because you wanted to be cool like the
Exactly.
adults. And hold that, I'm holding my fingers to my mouth like I'm smoking a cigarette right now.
And you know what's funny? They kind of tasted good too. So
I know, you chew them up as sugar.
yeah, I know.
There's another big lie, sugar.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
But as recent as 1994, the industry absurdly claimed that cigarettes were no more addictive than coffee, tea, or even Twinkies.
Right. Okay.
Okay, Twinkies I don't think are addictive.
No, God, no.
First, they're gross.
Yeah. Well,
The truth is that cigarettes are as addictive as cocaine, alcohol, and opioids.
yes.
That's crazy. I don't put them in the same category.
I agree. Not the same category, but addictive, yes. I mean, I
guess because I'm not addicted to cigarettes, I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I work with a couple of guys who smoke on a regular basis, and we've been hounding them to quit forever, and it's just not happening. I mean, it's a hard habit to crack.
And they're so expensive now.
They're way expensive. What's funny, not funny, but my dad used to be like a huge smoker. I mean, like he would 2-3 packs a day.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah, huge. And then this is back in, where was it? It was back in the early 90s. He had a heart attack.
Okay.
And it was due to the smoking. And he quit cold turkey.
How do you do that?
I don't know, but he did.
You quit
He
cold
just
turkey.
quit cold turkey. And I mean, we're pushing 30 years now and hasn't had one since.
My grandpa used to do that. Would smoke 2 packs a day.
Yeah.
And drink 2 pots of coffee.
Oh my God. Wow.
But research consistently showed that nicotine was addictive, but cigarette companies continued to deny it.
Well, yeah.
Industry leaders repeatedly denied the health risks associated with the first and secondhand smoke. Today, it is widely accepted that smoking harms nearly every organ in the body and leads to cancer, emphysema, heart disease, and other illnesses. Smoking causes 1 in 5 deaths in the U.S., resulting in over 480,000 deaths annually.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
You'd think we should learn.
Right.
In 1998, the 4 tobacco companies settled a lawsuit with most U.S. states agreeing to pay $206 billion over 25 years to help cover the medical costs of smoking-related illness.
And the fact that they could pay $206 billion tells you a lot about how much money they were making.
But the world is changing.
Yeah.
As in, I don't think smoking is nearly as exciting or glamorous as it used to be.
Now, be truthful here. Back in high school, did you have a smoker's pit?
Did I have a smoker's what?
Smoker's pit.
Pit.
We called ours the pit.
Oh, in high school?
In high school.
No, sorry, not
You never had that?
high school. No,
Really?
No.
You graduated 5 years before, but you didn't have a smoker's pit?
I guess. Let me rephrase. I did not know of a smoker's pit.
Okay. You're such a goody two shoes. You had
Why?
no idea.
I didn't smoke
Okay.
until I left high school.
Yeah, see, we did, and there was one section where it was in the high school, and there was always a teacher out there in between classes. They would go out there, and that's where if you were 18, you could go out and have a smoke at school. Funny, the teacher out there was always smoking as well, but
Right.
yeah, and this is in the 80s. I mean, this is the late 80s. This is not. I mean, it's not that long ago. I'm sorry, but some people may seem like a long time ago. That was not that long ago, and
maybe we did, but I
no idea.
wasn't me.
Yeah.
But when I went to school after school, I started smoking a little bit here and there, and I developed a really bad, gross sort of habit.
Which is
When I'd smoke, I'd clear my throat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd make this weird little clearing of my throat, but there's nothing there to clear.
Yeah.
And it actually became very apparent to my girlfriend, who, by the way, is my wife. And she was like, "Why do you do that?" And I said, "These cigarettes." And so
Yeah.
we both stopped together.
Yeah, it's probably a good call. All right, how about a little affair? That's always fun, right?
Depending on who it's with.
Back in '98, the Clinton-Lewinsky affair.
Oh, that was like all the topic
that
right
was
there.
huge. Yeah, news broke that President Bill Clinton had an affair with a White House intern, Monica Lewinsky. Clinton publicly denied the allegations, but it was
Well, of course he did.
Well, of course, why wouldn't you, right? But it was later revealed that he had lied under oath about the affair during a sexual harassment lawsuit filed by Paula Jones.
I remember all that.
Yeah, it was you couldn't miss it for like 2 years. That's
all that was on.
All it was on. Yeah. Jones's lawyer sought to prove that Clinton had a pattern of sexual misconduct and found Linda Tripp, a former White House secretary who had recorded conversations with Lewinsky about the affair. Clinton was questioned under oath and denied the relationship, but ultimately admitted to it after being subpoenaed. So there too, I mean, he was telling stories and holding that lie for years, and even when they had proof, he still tried to lie about it.
Right.
I mean,
Because of his position, he had to, I'm sure he felt he had to do it.
right? But I mean, how do you hold that together? I mean, just for that long, and oh my gosh, that's ugh.
See, that to me would give me a heart attack.
Yeah, the stress would be enough.
The stress.
Yeah, knock me out. Yeah. House of Representatives impeached Clinton for perjury and obstruction of justice, but he was acquitted by the Senate. Despite making high approval ratings, Clinton's legacy was tarnished by the scandal.
Yeah, absolutely was.
I mean, jokes are still made to this day about him and her dress.
right. The stain on her dress.
I'm going to say is the stain on her dress. I'm not going any farther than that. So,
And, since we're talking about presidents, there's of course, Watergate.
what?
What? President Richard Nixon? I am not a crook.
Oh, no, he's not.
But that's all we'll say
Yeah,
about
we
that.
need to talk about that. Yeah, those are some big lies. Yeah, and the last thing I want to do as we're on having our podcast and having fun is I don't want to get into politics or even talk politics, but the environment that we're currently in, it seems that everyone is lying no matter what side you're on.
Right.
Like,
It's hard not to talk about politics.
yeah, but how is that? How do we get to the point where that's now the norm?
I don't know. It's just like it's constantly on the news. It's constantly on the air. We have different presidents that come in and out, and so they all make different changes. And usually they're trying to undo someone's change, somebody else, and it's so annoying.
It's so annoying. I just think over the years we just, as a society, we've just swayed so far from the middle. We're either left or we're right, and to me that's just
right.
Can't we all just get along?
We can't.
I know we can't.
You just tell little white lies. We'll be fine.
Right, exactly. Have you ever used a lie detector machine?
No,
I haven't either.
Thankfully, I have not. But I'm really curious.
Yeah.
I know I would fail.
I'm fascinated by one. I would love just to see it in action.
Yeah, I would totally fail because I'd be so nervous.
Yeah.
And I saw this on a show, and I think it's true. I don't really know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe a true lie detector test will also vibrate you on the chair on your butt below.
What?
So so it sends a vibration where you're sitting, so to throw you off your balance, and and it measures all these different things. So what the show was talking about is when you lie, you tend to flex your sphincter muscle.
Okay.
And so it's measuring that.
Okay, sure.
And I think that was hilarious to me. I wonder if it's true. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. I also wonder if it's true if, again, a movie, I think it's Ocean's 11, where the tech guy has to lie.
Yeah.
And so they tell him to put a thumbtack in his shoe. So anytime he's ready, when he knows he's going to tell a lie, he steps down and just is like in excruciating pain. But the lie detector can't tell because it makes a baseline where it's the same.
Of where that is.
It's the same effect every single time. Whether it's a truth or a lie, it's showing the same thing. So like they look at him like, you look like you're just dying right now, but you're telling the truth. He's like,
Yeah, right.
yes, I am.
Did you ever lie on a job application?
I have not. Have you?
Well, I did once.
Okay.
I didn't get the job.
What did you lie about?
My education.
Oh.
'Cause I don't have a bachelor's degree.
Oh, okay.
And so you get turned down so many times for
Yeah.
applying for jobs. I'm like sick and tired of that. I
Yeah.
just put it yes that I had it.
Right.
Well, I didn't get an interview anyways. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. So I do interview a few people, especially in the spring as we're hiring. And we had somebody recently who applied. And part of our job is you drive a truck. You drive a work truck, so you have to have a valid license.
Yeah.
And be able to do that. So we interviewed him and he put in the application. Yep, I got a license. So shows up for the first day of work and says, well, actually, I gotta go take my test. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, I gotta take my test. Okay, well, so take the day off, go take your test. Comes back the next day. So did you pass? Well, yeah, I passed, but I don't get my license for 90 days now, I guess. Like, what do you mean you'll get it for 90 days? Yeah, you want to take his permit test.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, yeah, dude, you can't work here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's tough for you because you have to have certain things in order for your job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Insurance tends to frown upon hiring somebody that doesn't have a valid license.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Why can't you just tell them a little white lie?
Yeah, right? Shocker. All right. All right. So to wrap things up, here are some basic tips to help out those perpetual liars and what you can do to change your ways. That's none of us, by the way, but
Not a perpetual liar.
Perpetual
I'm a perpetual white liar.
yeah, there you go.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So number one, understand your triggers. Pay attention, identify patterns, and explore alternatives.
Number 2, reflect on your lies. Types of lies, underlying reasons, consequences.
That's a big one. Number 3, practice honesty in small ways.
Or big ways.
Or big ways. So start small, give complete answers, but be tactful.
Always be honest.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Number 4, set and respect boundaries. Rob,
Yes.
this is my boundary over here.
It is your boundary. Yes.
Do not cross
Do not
my
cross
line.
your line.
Learn to say no,
Yes.
Rob.
Yes. No means no.
No means no. That's a whole new topic.
That's a whole different topic.
And it's okay not to share everything. See, I just didn't tell you I ate the candy bar.
there you go. Yeah, I agree.
I just didn't share.
Just didn't share.
I didn't lie.
Yes.
Just didn't share.
Didn't share. Number 5, consider the worst case scenario.
Ooh, what is the worst case scenario?
Challenge your fears long term versus short term.
Ooh, challenge my fears. That's always my biggest problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think you can tackle your fears and, oh, I'm afraid.
Yep. And then you just,
Remember the last podcast about being afraid? Mm-hmm. Plug that in here.
right.
Number 6, cultivate self-awareness and mindfulness.
Bring out the yogi.
Yep. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings and try journaling.
Yeah,
You can write those lies down and get them out of your system. And then I feel better about it.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'd rather start a podcast
Because then you would find my journal and read all the lies I wrote about you.
Right. Number 7, build trust and connection. Focus on genuine relationships and practice empathy.
Empathy is hard for some people.
It is very hard for some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genuine relationships, I think I don't find it hard to do.
I don't either.
And finally, seek support when needed. Talk to a trusted friend or a family member. Consider therapy if you need it. Don't be a pathological liar.
I'll be here for you.
I want you to sing more, please.
Yes, absolutely.
I think I would do most of the singing on this podcast. So I want you to do that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't sing. All right. So that's it for today, everyone. So thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Please be sure to follow us on the socials, mainly Facebook and Instagram.
That'd be great. And shoot us an email at onemorethinpod@gmail.com with any comments, show topic ideas. We'd be happy to listen.
Love to hear from you.
So, are you a liar? I don't think we are. We're not liars.
No.
We try hard not to be a liar. So, I think we're just trying to give everybody a little bit of background about lying. And you can make your choices. Mm-hmm. Oh, and one more thing. Changing a habit takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself and don't get discouraged by occasional slip-ups.
That's right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Hey, my teacher said real beauty is on the inside.
That's just something ugly people say.